10 seconds.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's the View from the Dead Box. Your boys are back with a special bum guest today. He's flown in for the tournament so we can get dunked on.
I know, right? It's a heck of a thing
Johnny.
to travel for a regional tournament.
Yeah, dude.
What a clown.
People think I'm crazy every time I say, "Hey, man, who you play with?" I play these guys, GA Extreme out of Georgia. Georgia? You travel to Georgia? We don't travel 2 hours for practice. I'm like, dude, it's dedication. Don't throw your boys, man. We're getting too old to be playing with bumps, you know?
This is true.
I know. That's what we keep telling us. Guys, why do we keep playing with this bum who's coming in from Kansas? I'm like,
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah. Comes in from Canada.
Is it Kansas? I always tell everybody Oklahoma because I really don't know.
Same place.
Yeah, it's same shit.
Okay.
Same place.
Same
I was like,
place.
it's over there. Like, it's not here. It's just that way.
Kansas City Chiefs. Like, literally Kansas
Okay.
City.
Okay. I didn't know
Kansas City, or Kansas City, Oklahoma,
Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh.
Not that Kansas City, Missouri. Bullshit.
Kansas City, Missouri, Goat Town.
No.
Kansas City, Kansas.
No.
that.
Kansas.
No? Okay.
Not Missouri.
See, at least we brought you back, though. So you must have done good on your
Yeah.
first
You're
podcast.
the first
So,
repeat guest.
Man.
first repeat guest.
And look, I'm using a better mic this time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
almost like you're right next to me.
I know.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
you are.
I mean, you didn't sound that bad last time. But...
Yeah, it was terrible. But I have a new
Yeah.
mic now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wave 3, sponsored by El Gato now. Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, what was that, dude? Is that somebody taking a shit?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So like we said, we got the CPSL this weekend. How you guys feeling?
Well, Johnny hasn't played probably since he played Cup last year. So, right? I mean, is that
I've probably played more paintball
Stop.
this year than I've played in a while, actually.
Oh, boy.
I've been playing for, I think I've played 7 or 8 times in the last 3 months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing every weekend. We do.
I mean, that's about
Sunday.
how our stuff's been going, too. But
Yeah.
We actually have. There's a KC Mo All Stars D3 that plays out there, and they have a lot of guys that come out on Sundays, and we do a 7 to 10 or 7 to 11 team practice
Oh,
paint.
that's
Everybody
nice.
comes out there and we grind. This past week we played on the Mexico NXL layout. That is terrible, by the way.
Yeah?
Like absolutely ass. In your spare time, look up the layout and you can throw up all over the page.
It's probably not worse than this last CPSL layout we had.
No. There's no back center.
That's
but
fine.
There's
I
two
wish there
wings.
was.
There's 2 wings that are like 50 feet apart from each other.
That's fine. I wish
Oh,
that's how
yeah.
it was. Not
Well-
56 bunkers in the middle of the fucking field.
I'm going to
And
defend the
a big,
CPSL
a
layout a
big
little bit.
Dorito as a home bunker.
We can
The
ask,
what?
just ask Stro how to play that bunker.
Yeah, he can play dead box. He gets the view from the dead box.
He
He can be
does.
the second repeat guest.
That's so great.
No, I got to defend that CPSL layout. Granted, I didn't play it,
Yeah,
But-
he didn't play it.
but at least it was – no, I'm not even going to say it was good because I really don't know. I don't think it was that good for my watching it.
Oh,
At least it was a blind layout.
It looked terrible. You know what?
Okay.
And I'm all about that.
I am too.
I think I'm so excited, more so excited about playing, knowing that the layout's gonna be blind.
Yep.
Like I'm really jealous that Courtney's guys and all those guys are gonna play Saturday. They're gonna play the layout first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's exciting because it's like, boom, you show up like old days back in like 2001, 2002. You show up and there's a layout. You walk the field for 20 minutes and you're playing. It was
Yep.
great.
Well, that 2002 to like 2005 to me, I think was like the golden age of like paintball.
Oh,
I mean,
Okay, hold on. I got to stop you. You're a dick. That was going to be
Gotcha.
my topic for tonight. That was one of my topics.
Came in there and shit on you.
No,
Where'd you mind?
I'll go ahead and so
Let's
I'll
keep
just
the
ask
buckets
the
right.
question anyway.
5
You already
points
answered, but we'll be able to elaborate on it. And I think this answer is different for really just about any paintball player. So we know yours. So Johnny, what would be your golden ages of paintball?
Definitely between 2002, 2006, like
Okay.
right around that time frame. Like, cause 2007 was when
DM4s dab on them.
boom, gotta have them. That was where we met, trading parts. I think
Yep.
we talked about that in the last episode.
Yep.
But 2007 in Kansas City is when they had that MPPL in the
Okay.
Sprint Center with the netting on top,
Oh,
and they
that's
had
badass.
the replay booth where they had a camera projected on top. And the players were able to look up top and see where the other players were on the other side of the field.
That's bad.
Super shitty, but that was
Yeah.
I mean that was when Dynasty was on ESPN.
Oh, that's cool.
So that I would say probably that was like 2002 to 2007 is definitely the best
Okay.
times for paintball.
Yeah. I mean, mine would be a little later. Like, I didn't start I played my first tournament 2007. Other than the very first time I played, that doesn't really count. This is true. I'm just not as old as you. So I would probably say 2006 to like 2008 for me. I mean, that was like, I was watching a lot, like Dynasty and everything when I was a kid because I was just starting to play. So the first thing you do is like go on the internet and try to find out like who the best paintball team is or like what all the cool gear is. So probably like 2005.
Yeah.
Dude, you missed literally the best.
I know.
Times of it. Like
No, man.
like 2003 to 2005, right there.
That's
It was real tight.
It was technology. I think.
Oh man,
Technology was like.
That's
jumping.
right when the V35, the victory board.
Oh,
came
yeah.
out. That
See,
was like
all that stuff I
man.
missed. Like, I had a V35, but again, I probably got that in 2006, maybe, on my Ion.
It was like
So
4 or 5 when it came out. 5,
Yeah.
maybe 5.
And that's probably about when I got it, because I had an egg before that. Like, I had all that old gear, but I was getting it when it was already 3 years old.
Yeah.
So it was already.
At that time, Halo was giving that upgrade for free.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You took your loader. You took
Did
your
not know
loader.
that.
You took your loader to Halo, and they literally gave you a free board.
Oh, that's cool.
Free
Because
board
they,
and Shock
because
Tech
Empire.
doing
What
free
was the
board.
Empire one called? Because there's the Halo, and then the Empire had. it
Empire
was the same.
B.
Yeah, it was an Empire.
B?
It was sound activated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vibrations got it too. Yeah.
That I didn't know that was the difference because I only ever had the Halo one, which was the high
Yeah,
operated.
Halo
so.
was on a dual laser eye system.
Yep.
The Empire was on a sound activated board that you can adjust the potentiometer inside of it, and it would, depending on, like, you could like whisper and it would go at it, or you could have it where it's sensitive where it
Scream.
would take a shot of a gun to do it. And we noticed this because we switched to the DM4s and they were a lot quieter than most guns. We were having problems and malfunctions. We could not figure it out. Then we found out the guns were too quiet for the hoppers. So then we had to
Okay.
turn the sensitivity down to make the hoppers turn on easier, and then we never had another problem at them.
That was the time when they came out with the Empire Revy, with the
Yeah.
sound activated.
Oh,
Revy.
Yeah, it was kind of dog shit.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
They had the single blade inside of it, the like
Oh, it was
2
3 pedals.
Was it?
I
Was
had
that 3?
No,
What
the
was the-
real shitty one was that view loader that would come in the
Q
get
loader.
it from, listen, let me
No,
finish.
no.
It would no, not the Q loader. No. The Q loader, yeah, that was the cylinder under the bottom of those.
No, there was one that had like a cattail.
Yes, it's the view loader Quantrum or something like that.
Quantrum, that's
It would
right.
come in
Is that what
the
you were about to say?
shitty Walmart ones. Yes,
Oh,
it would come
yeah,
with
that
like
thing
the
was so
view loader Orion or whatever. they were.
It never turned off.
It was
No, it never
literally
turned off. It
roll
just
the tape.
turned. It was like a
The
blender.
whole time. It was
Yes.
loud, like.
Yes.
It was like, man,
Oh
hey,
my
you guys want to play paintball or do you want to make some smoothies?
Yes.
God.
I had a Brass Eagle Raider, and it was like a little $80 package or whatever. I got that in like 6th grade, so 2003. And then like that following Father's Day, my mom got my dad like the nicer gun, and it was the green Viewloader Quantrum or Viewloader Orion, and then it had that
Yep.
little cattail Quantrum in there, and I was always like, well, I'm going to use that one just because it was electronic. And I was like, oh,
Electronic.
this thing is annoying. Like, I had to turn that
And then you
bitch
got
off.
crawling, stomping through the foliage behind you. You could hear him.
Do you hear that guy? Oh my god, he's getting closer.
You turn it off.
Oh.
But,
When did the Pulse come out now? Because the Pulse was, yes.
The Drax's Pulse?
Drax's Pulse.
That
I
was
have a brand new one. I have a brand new
That
one.
was
Yeah,
like late 2000s, like 2008.
I think it was like, no, it was
No, it
it
couldn't
was
have
like
been that
6. I want to say it was 6
Okay.
or 7.
old. Yeah, that would name. I had one for a short period of time. I traded a Microsoft Zoom or Zune for it.
Zune.
Yeah.
Yes, I traded one of those for one on PB
Yikes.
Nation.
Imagine where's Zoom now? Paperweights.
You know, I had one of those.
Hey, exactly where that Drax's Pulse is.
Yeah.
But I traded for one of those, and it was beat to shit. But I was like, I wanted one because everybody on PB Nation wanted like $1 million for
$1
them.
million.
And this thing was just, it was trash because they had the little RF chips with them and stuff.
Yep.
Dude, they're great. I bought one from a British
Yeah.
company like
Sure they
6
are.
months ago. $60 shipped. With,
Oh, that's not bad. I
with
mean,
a
yeah.
shell. Brand new. Like it wasn't used. It was brand new in the box. I have the box with it and everything.
What about the what's the real shitty Empire loader? The Magna. The
That's
fucking
the new one? The
no,
Magnum?
it was it like sat backwards. Like I don't want to say sit backwards. It was long. The feed neck was
Oh
at
yeah,
the
yeah. It
front.
looked like a tub.
Yeah, it was like an
It was-
elongated halo. Like imagine moving the feed neck of the halo to the front.
Yeah,
of the halo.
yeah. It was the Magnum.
Wes is giving me like he doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking
remember
about.
that? Where's your phone? Google it.
Yeah, you gotta look at one.
Google it. It looks like a bathtub with like all the way back, and the feed tube was in the front.
Yes, I wanted
Literally
one of
from the
those
black-
so bad. And
Empire
eventually,
Magna loader. Yeah, the thing was ass.
I did buy one. I hopped on PB
Magna
Nation one
Stone.
time after I had a rotor, and someone was selling a brand new one for $30, and I was like, I'm buying this just to buy it. I took that bitch apart, and it had a weird spring in there, and it had like the little Magna drive, and I could never get it to line up properly. I just threw it in a giant trash bag. I threw that bitch right the fuck out.
Magna Hopper. Was it the Magna?
Empire Magna Drive.
Yeah,
That's gotta be it.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it.
No picture though.
No picture.
Oh no.
What was your?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's it. It looks like a bathtub, doesn't it?
Oh god.
It's a bathtub with a freaking drive cone on the bottom.
God.
Well, that HK speed loader that I bought last year.
Yep, that's it. 100%.
Oh god, the bathtub
Piece of
loader.
shit.
Oh,
I like I said, I bought one of those off PB Nation just because I was like, I wanted one so bad, and then took it apart, couldn't get it back together, threw it in the trash.
dude, I bought that HK speed loader last year.
Yeah,
That thing is a freaking beast. Like Payne loves that thing.
yeah, he really does.
Dude,
I just can't get over the look.
It is absolutely hideous. The
Yeah.
view and vision around it is terrific.
I know
bring it.
it's. I don't understand how it's not taller because I feel like I see everything
Yeah.
with it, so I feel like it has to be tall, and then I put it next to
just-
my Spire, and it's not tall.
Payne has it and Payne uses it. But man, they're so light, and I probably need one on the Force because it probably balances the gun out.
It does.
Yeah.
really
But
well.
man, I really feel like if I play with one, I get made fun of. Like people
Yeah.
would make fun of me using it.
You wanna
He
make
wants to
fun-
look like Dynasty. He wants to
Yeah.
look like Dynasty.
Well,
That's why
not
I
that.
want
It looks like you're like a noob. Having that hopper, you look like, you know what I mean? It
I
looks
mean,
like it's a rental hopper. You're like,
I use my control. I love my control loader.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah, I
so-
mean, I'm still on my Spire
Joel,
3.
I have no problem with my controller. Jamie, on the other hand, he breaks and busts every piece of equipment he has.
well,
that
he
hopper's
broke
great
the
for him.
triggers on all his guns too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that hopper's great for him because it's rubberized, so he can't really break it. He just like
It
blows it apart.
explodes.
Yeah, did you
They
see
go
him
better
duct
together.
tape that bitch together for practice
Yeah.
last week? He took athletic tape and he was like, I'm just going to do this. And he's just like wrapping athletic tape around it. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it works. It'll keep it from splitting in half, I guess. And then you see him
Yeah.
flying through the air. You're like, oh, fuck, that poor
He
loader.
slides into a bunker holding his trigger. Like
Yeah.
he holds his gun like this when he dies.
No, he puts his finger behind it.
Oh,
Behind it.
behind it. Yeah.
Yes. So anything, it's like his hand, if he pushes forward, his hand just goes right against the trigger. I'm trying to think what
Yeah,
else.
I remember he broke his Lux, the Ripper trigger
Yeah,
at that
at
last
Cup.
Yeah, at Cup. That's right.
Yep.
He was playing with a half trigger.
And those guns were like, what, 4 months old at that time,
Yeah,
maybe?
it was.
They were
weren't very
not old. And he showed me this past weekend. You can see like little hairline cracks around the screws of his trigger. And I'm like, you're gonna do it again? He goes, yeah, probably. I'm like, well, I mean, at least you know. I was like, at least do it at Cup so you just get another one. Get a
Get
trigger
another
a
one.
year.
Hey guys, what happened, dude?
Dude, I remember you last
this
year.
this isn't the fifth time I've done this. Like, you know, you're a repeat offender, dude.
Oh, that's funny. So I guess that was the golden age, and we talked about gear. What other weird gear came out of that time? Not weird, or just
The Q
cool?
loader.
The Q loader, yeah, that was a
The Q loader.
Pinocchio.
What
yeah.
the fuck? What was that?
Pinocchio
Pinocchio's
as well.
back though. That
Yes.
hopper, the fucking that.
Yeah,
the
HK,
yeah,
yep.
But
Pinocchio. I'm like,
you can't put the tip on it. No, what's that freaking
think you
loader?
can.
yeah, you can, you can,
No,
you,
you
yeah,
can't
they
take-
have it.
Yeah, you can. You have to buy it. Like
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but they make it
Yeah.
like Pinocchio for it.
Oh, what's that freaking? It was linked up with the Q loader. It was the rotor speed. No,
Oh, were we talking about these, West? Where you mount you can put the loader on the side of the gun.
Warp feed.
warp
Warp
feed.
feed. Yeah. We
Yeah,
talked about those
Yeah,
a little
we were
bit.
just talking about those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are dope.
Warp feeds.
The warp feeds. Those Q loaders were cool. I always wanted one on that company called Spec Ops would make like a tricked out ion. You could all sorts of like woods ball shit. I don't think they're around anymore, but they had a Q loader set up for the ion, and then they had another one where it was like a spring loaded, like so it would be like no loader, and it was supposed to be like a sniper rifle on an ion. So it had like a 100-round tube, and it had a barrel that went with it, and it was almost like that. You ever seen that bow that holds like
Yeah.
100 paintballs? It was a real similar concept to that, except it was on an ion, but it was supposed to be like a sniper thing.
Dude, I had an Ion, man. I used to
I
do
did too.
QUV mods for freaking $50.
Yeah.
You put Planet Eclipse QUVs in that thing, and that thing used to ride.
I never did that. I had just a Virtue QEV in mine, I believe, or something. A different
You
one.
just drill the holes, and you put your QUVs in the front and the rear. You slide it back on, because remember you had to take the freaking trigger frame off to take the
Yep.
bolt out to lube it.
Yep.
Oh my
Had the
God.
3 screws. Had the screw in the breech, one
Yeah.
on the trigger, and one on the back of the gun. You take all 3 of those out, and you literally slide the bastard
I
up.
think
like
it was
this.
so terrible to lube, man. It was
Yeah,
like-
that gun. I've talked about having one before that I spent way too much money on, but that's still a gun I wish I could get back. Like I have an Ion. I have one. I want that one back.
You can get a metal frames for them now.
Yeah. I'm like the one I have is I've built it really close to my old one. I'm missing a Reds on off ASA and an Empire revolver kit, and I cannot find either one of those. Those are like I'm always on the hunt for an impulse threaded Empire revolver kit and a Reds on off ASA. Can't find
this guy Sunday at practice, he had a CP barrel that he taped up because it rained all day. Another guy had a Reds barrel kit. And another guy was wearing a paintball junkies beanie.
Oh hell yeah!
God. We were talking about sock hats.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. The old school like core dye jersey.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
he was wearing the dye shorts with dye core knee pads.
That's a 2004 or 5 era.
That was like taking me back, but he was terrible.
See, I had one of those. I had a dye core jersey and a pair of Raven pants from like 2001, and it was I probably got them in like 2004, 2005. A dude in my neighborhood who was like didn't know he played, and my mom bought everything. He had like a DM3 tank, all this shit, and I had that. I played in that jersey for a hot minute because it was like the first jersey I got, and I was like, oh wow, I actually got a paintball jersey, and then I was like, oh, I actually kind of got a decent gun. Like I had the Ion and that DM3, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I was like, oh, this DM3 is now it's a giant piece of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like the battery is in a terrible spot. Oh, the reach comes off when I take this fucking long ass rod through it.
Screw with the back of the gun, the whole reach comes off the barrel. You know, yes. The barrel.
Did you see the? You remember Johnny Matrix?
Yep.
Did you know him?
No.
Michael, you
way
know?
Before his time.
That was my first mask. He had a Raven mask. That dude turned me on to the Raven stuff, and that was my first mask in paintball. Was a Raven mask.
I didn't even know they made masks. I only ever knew like pants and jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
they made jerseys, pants, gloves.
It looks like an i5.
Okay.
Basically, it's like it kind of looks like a bird. Legit, like
a bird. I4 or 5.
Yeah, but they were sick masks, man. The lenses were absolutely a nightmare to change.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like lenses that are hard to change. That's why I keep all my flexes
GT fucking
Pro Flexes were the worst mask ever made. People go bananas about.
I mean, I've worn them since 2006.
Push.
I love them. I mean, I like my quick change lenses. I liked i4s. That's actually probably my second favorite mask. If my head wasn't so fucking big, they breathe so well.
Push.
And then I probably like profilers and grills after that. So
I think the grill looks the coolest besides the old skull mask.
Yeah.
The old skull mask with when that Strange used to wear.
Yeah.
That shit looked so good, but they were terrible masks.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. They looked with a smoke lens, you cut the top off.
Yeah.
Man, that skull mask looks sick. That thing looked so good. And the grill does look the best.
Does someone wearing like a pair of profilers that are like old, does that intimidate you, Johnny?
A profiler?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said in this last podcast that like what if I see a guy on the field and he's wearing an old black profiler with like a yellow lens.
Like a mirrored lens?
No, like yellow, like
amber.
HD. Yes.
Yeah.
Like he's seen some shit. Like he's been around the block.
There's a guy on the D3 team for KC Molosser. His name's Todd Boyer, and he's the captain of the team. He rocks a zebra profiler.
Yeah, see,
with a mirrored lens on it, and it's just like, yeah, he's been around for a minute. He really hasn't. I think he just he's part of the new OG crew.
Yeah.
Because there's a big following in Kansas City for the i3 Pros.
Yeah.
I have 4 of them. And there's a lot of guys at $70 for a titanium lens. And
holy.
The problem is a lot of these guys are trying to get back into OG paintball, but don't know OG paintball. So yeah, but you see a profiler, you see an i3. Like those guys, typically, you feel like have been around for a little while.
Yeah,
know what's going on.
I want to pick up a pair. I had a white pair of profilers, a blue pair of profilers, and I still have a red pair. But the blue ones,
yellow pair out there somewhere.
The blue ones I left at your dad's house, and they're in that room somewhere. And then the white one I sold. Yeah, and the red one I got from somebody. But I loved playing in the white one. I played Nets for like a full season. And I wish I still had those because I would probably wear those on occasion.
I have a soft ear profiler.
Oh, see.
JT soft ear.
Oh, not the i3 ones that everybody did?
No. I went legit JT soft ear, and I painted the middle red.
Oh, that's nice.
Like a gloss red paint, and I had a chrome mirrored lens, and soft gears, and that bitch was raw.
Oh,
But
that's badass.
This whole thing right here showed. I don't know how many
yeah.
times I got shot in the neck.
Oh,
Oh my god.
That's how it was with my i4s. I also had to paint, and I think you had to do this too, Wes. I think you taped yours. I had to paint the inside of my i4s because you would get massive glare if you had the white ones. The way the sun would come in, it would literally, you couldn't see. Like, it was near impossible.
Yeah,
That's how the command is.
I put tape all around mine.
Yeah, I painted mine. I took just like black paint, and I was like, I got to make this so I could. You just couldn't see. It was that was the worst part about those. Did you have any topic, Wes? Other than us?
It's the golden age of paintball, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can keep going. We talking about all sorts of gear. What else we got? What about egos? When did you have your first ego?
I never did.
I
was never a Planet Eclipse fanboy.
Never. No, I had.
This is my first poppet gun since my 2K5 Timmy.
Oh, okay.
It's like 7 years old by now.
This gun?
Yeah.
No, 5 years old.
The 1.1. That's
16.
That's older than dirt, dude. Done.
Dude.
Just tired, dude.
That's old technology.
Yeah. So there you go. We switched sponsors and went Planet Eclipse in 08. And we all had 09s. We all had 09 egos, which I think is the best ego. Besides the last one they made that with, yeah. But because the 05, we bought two 05s forever. The first game we had a white blue.
They were so loud. Those fucking guns.
We had a white blue and a white red, and I think a white gray. All dust. Yeah.
Because what's his name had one?
Jeff.
With his next. Yep.
We had three of those, and then we got rid of them. And then remember that British Racing Green and Silver that I almost got the G4 Twister this week. That is the gun that I traded that kid for, and he sent it to me. And then literally I waited 6 months for this gun. After the first week and a half, it got lost in the mail. So he sent me my money back. And then like 6 months down the road, this gun randomly shows up on my doorstep on like a Saturday evening. Like it got lost in the mail. They found it and they sent it back to me. Huh. But we already did the refund for it, and then USPS sent him his money back for the gun, like for insurance purposes. So boom, free gun.
Yeah. And we're back, everybody.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I think the podcast cut off for a second.
Yeah, it acted really weird there.
Yeah, it was kind of odd.
So we were talking about your British Racing Green gun, right?
Yeah, the dark green and chrome parts.
Okay.
So, we ended up getting that, and then as 06 ego, didn't get 07, didn't have 08. Oh no, I did have.
You had your SL74.
I had the Origin. I had the. I had every fucking ego. Now I think about it, I had the dark green and tan SL74.
SL74.
And I had the Purple People Eater SL66.
Yeah, that you took a hacksaw to.
No, say what?
You took a hacksaw to that one.
I hacksaw the bottom ASA off.
The T-rail off. Yep.
Broke the T-rail.
You're at 94.
No. So I had an SL66, my favorite gun. I'd love to buy that back. I've already asked a million times, cannot find it. It was a purple. It was supposed to be a one-of-one purple and white parted excessive SL66 with star frame. Only gun ever made like that. I think it was a direct team gun. And then I had the green and tan SL74.
Which I think I bought from a pawn shop.
Yes.
Probably 8 years ago now.
Many years later?
Yes.
Yeah, it probably did it up in a pawn shop. I think I sold it to Frank, I think, and then he probably sold it to one of those guys or something for some crack.
Probably.
Then I had an 08 Origin that got hoarded around really bad.
Yes. I owned that before you. Yep.
Yeah, that gun got really hoarded around bad.
Yeah.
It was that bright teal, super bright.
It was a 1 of 54 or a 1 of 28 or something like
rare. That. Then we had the 09 Ego. I had dust white with silver parts.
Yep.
And then
you had my Geo. Yep. Because me and Alex swapped parts, and then did I sell it to you or did I sell it to Graydon? Because Graydon had that also.
No, my Geo is brand new.
No, you had mine.
No, I think you sold that to Graydon. Graydon bought yours.
Okay. I thought
Graydon bought yours. I had
was
that.
Was it Geo 1?
Yeah, black with silver parts.
Black with silver parts.
Yeah,
I think I remember that.
I'm telling you, it was mine you had.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think I ended up getting out of my 09 Ego and bought that new.
Okay.
Because I ended up selling We went the next year, and I was gonna go back to dye, and then we came from dye to Eclipse.
Yeah.
And then we ended up. I used a Geo for a season, and then we got picked up by Angel. We shot all the Angel guns. That's when we were the test dummies for the A1s. We had a fucking plethora of issues because they were the newest guns out.
Yeah.
And they completely redesigned the gun, which in turn slowly killed them off, and they died after that.
Dude, if you would have saw that Angel Tech, this is probably World Cup 2009, 2010, like one of the last years they were even around. And he ripped that manifold off right in front of your dad. Your dad was like, I fucking can't believe you just did that. Like, he was like, oh, you just take this off and glue it back on. He goes, we're playing. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just rip this off my gun. He was like, oh, because that was like he didn't have a spare. He was like, oh, we're sending
Yeah.
you spares. Replace this part, and ripped it right the fuck off. Your dad was like,
It was probably Owen. Owen,
I don't remember.
or fuck, what's the other guy's name? There was two main. One was both England guys, but one was Owen, and he ran the day-to-day operations and some of the teching. And the other guy, I think it's the main guy. He had a pair of glasses. He was like the main tech dude for the
Yeah.
company. And then we had a plethora of guns since then, back and forth. And then right after the Angels, I went to a Bob Long closer. And then I went from the closer, and then just have been Lux for about 10 years
yeah.
since then. So then now.
Did you ever see that old Angel video? You probably have. And they would show the frozen paintballs.
Yes.
That was
Yeah,
when I was a
so-
kid. I used to love watching that.
Yeah. So that was a joke, and they sent it to us. It was we were breaking paint all the time, and they were arguing that their guns never broke paint. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Our guns cannot break paint. Like we shoot the most fragile paint ever, and they will not break it. So they're showing you like he's sending videos. We didn't know at the time. In England, the paint is typically a lot bigger. Like 692 to 3 is common,
Yeah.
and it goes bigger than that. Well, we were shooting halos, and the breaches are a little bit bigger in the Angels, the older ones, and it was pushing the paint down so hard that the breach was seeing a full ball and like a 16th of the next ball. And if you were shooting super fragile paint, the other hoppers, when the bolt went by, it pushed the ball back up into the breach. Well, the halo pushed so hard that it would very rarely, but it would chop that second ball in the breach. So then it loaded a broken ball and then busted it. And they were arguing with us like, dude, you cannot break paint in these guns. It's almost impossible. And I'm like, no, it's breaking paint. Well, they ended up showing us they got paint that was like they got a handful of it and literally dropped a handful of it from the knee on concrete, and every one of them broke. Like literally grabbed 10 balls, like dropped them, all of them broke, and they dump it in the gun and just railed that bitch, a whole bag. Never broke one ball, and he's like, our guns don't break paint. Like if it's breaking paint, you're having an issue. Then we found out that it was our hoppers, and we noticed they were shooting velocities, and I'm like, that's weird. So we bought a velocity, put on the gun, and it miraculously stopped breaking paint. So then we just switched all the guns to velocities, and we never had another problem ever again.
That is
We
awesome.
found out that it was the halo putting too much pressure down the guns, and the rotor ended up being a happy medium. They put pressure, but not as much.
Yeah.
Then they found out that it was still doing it on the rotors. So then they came out with like second gen bolts where they ramped the bolt. They like notched the bolt back so it would push the paint up instead of like hitting it.
Oh, okay.
But we were having these issues. We were like, all right, well, the guns are doing this and they're doing this. And then a month later, they send us like new valves, new noids, new manifold gaskets. All right, try these. And we shot it for like 2 months. Okay, all right, now we're having an issue with the bolt or the bolt sticking and this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. And they go back, they fix it, send us like a whole bunch of new parts. We were like one of the only teams in the U.S. shooting them at the time. It was like us, Rage, and somebody else. So they didn't have a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
And it was crazy I had some terrible times with that gun shutting off randomly. Like in the middle of the game, would just turn off, turn back up, turn off, turn back on, turn off. The prongs on the board were like the board was moving, and it was the board would move and it would lose contact inside the battery. Just all kinds of dumb shit.
Alex had a NT10 that did that.
Yeah.
Your dad had bought him that
I
from
had an
first
NT10
off.
fucking ass.
We had to like take an index card, cut it up, stick it under the battery to keep the battery wedged up or like up against the grips. Just,
I think that was Dye's worst gun, the NT.
oh,
And Billy Wing says it too.
yeah, for sure.
See,
Yeah,
and I loved my NT11, guys. That gun shot so good. I don't know if it was just maybe I had a good one. It was a lift edition. When it came in, it had a solenoid problem. When I called up Dye, they were like, "Oh, Well, that's a team gun, so I literally sent the gun to California. They sent me back with a brand new solenoid. That gun shot amazing. That's another gun I wish I could have back. It was.
I made the worst trade now in history. I traded a black and red Carnivore E2'd and an NT10 for a Geo 2.1.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea.
At
Well,
that,
back
that-
then, the GS1 was new.
it was brand new. Like back then, the Carnivore was only worth $400, and the NT was only worth like $300.
Yeah.
So I traded it to a buddy for that 2.1, and I had that 2.1 for a while because that's why I traded. I traded Mason that 2.1, and then M2 for that Joker Ice.
Yep.
And I still have that video on my phone of that 2.1. That 2.1 shot incredible. Like that was
My 2.1
that
was ass.
That was the last. That was one of the only Planet Eclipse guns that I had that was a spoolie.
Yeah.
And I got rid of that and got the Lux, and I shot the Lux.
I've had every Geo except a 3.5, and my 2.1 was bad. I blame it on the previous owner. Because I fixed it, but it still didn't shoot right. It's really kicky for a spool valve.
man.
But he
Mine's
had
like
a Exalt bolt in it, and when
Oh.
it just wouldn't cycle. Like it came in,
That XL bolt was terrible.
and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I'm just gonna throw the stock bolt in it." It was fine, but he knew it was fucked up. I say fucked up, but he accidentally sent me a text. Like we were going back and forth, and I guess he must have texted like one of his buddies, and he said, "I don't know." Says he hasn't shot the gun yet. Is the text I receive, and I'm like with your brother Joe or Junior, and I was like, "Oh, this motherfucker knows this bitch is broken, and we haven't even aired it up yet." I was like, "We're getting ready," and as soon as we did, it just wouldn't cycle. It sounded like just massive bolt stick. So we took the bolt out, threw the stock one back in, and it shot fine. I'm like, this motherfucker intentionally sold me a gun he knew was fucked up, but
Yeah.
was just a shitty bolt. I was
Yeah.
like, so thankfully that's all it was. But I was like, you're a prick. That's funny.
The days of gun whoring.
Oh yeah,
Well, hopefully,
Yeah, when there was the only thing you were worried about was your PB Nation feedback.
yeah.
That was it.
How many guns do you
now-
think you've owned,
now-
Johnny?
What's that?
How many guns do you think you've owned?
I mean, this year I've had 24.
Okay.
Just this year, it's got to be over 150, maybe 200 guns.
What about you, Wes?
I don't even know. Honestly,
Probably 300 or 400.
it's a lot.
Being around Angel and
Yeah.
Bob Long and all those guns, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
this dude was a gun holder.
I lost count after about 70, I think. At one point, I was averaging, it was almost one a month. Like,
Yeah.
I had one main gun, and I was, like, trading around other shit.
Oh, dude.
But
this-
eventually
especially
I
this year,
stopped.
man.
Yeah,
This
no,
year
I
was-
just haven't done it the past probably 6 years. I've been pretty consistent with, like, 1 or 2 guns a year, maybe, at the most.
Michelle asked me, I was like right when COVID was starting, she's like, how many guns have you had this year? And I'm like, oh, like 3 or 4. She's like, really? She started just naming off colors of the guns. I knew what guns they were. She didn't know. And I was at 11. And I'm like, holy crap. And then I went DSR and I went, this is my 3rd LV. And
Yeah.
like, I just started going down a list and I'm like, oh my God. But I have never taken, the only loss I'll take on a gun in the last like 3 to 5 years is going to be on that Force if I decide to sell that Force. Only
Yeah.
because we bought him full retail at Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got lucky. I
Gotta know when to hold 'em.
I kept
Know when to hold 'em.
well, at that point they were like, hey, the Gloss Black is going to be discontinued. We're not going to make it anymore. And then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to make Gloss Black
Boom,
again. I'm
roast
like,
your ass.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's what they always
I
do,
still have
man.
my Gloss Black. I'm not going to get rid of that.
Yeah, I got every penny of mine and then some when I sold mine. So, but we just picked up some Forces this week. You see the one in the back of Mike's
No, wrong hand.
there. He's got a Frazy. I got a Greenspan. So we'll see. We're gonna take them and use them this tournament this weekend.
I know,
Oh,
that
we're
really
gonna go
sketches
down
me out.
and turn off and fucking brick paint, and break air and league and first shot drop off, all kinds of cool stuff.
Last CPSL, we're sitting in 3rd place on the series, man.
Only if
We
we would have took that first event serious, we'd be probably like
We'd
in
be-
first place. The very first event, we dicked around and like we
Yeah.
literally it didn't finish until 1 a.m. is wild, by the way. But they were finishing prelims at like 7:45,
Yeah.
and we were already guaranteed to go in. And I'm like, we guys started to do quarters, semis, and finals. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, we were 5 hours from the house. I'm like, hang this up. We literally beat this team in the dirt so bad. We 3-0'd them. We were going to 4-0 them. I started just every time our guys would beat him, I just would towel. I would towel it. I was like, all right, you guys can got these. I throw the flag. We towel. Like, what what the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, we threw the flag. We ended up just playing this one.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, we played this one team and just beat the piss out of them for like we had 8-0'd them really, and like we touted ourselves like 3 times, and they're like, you just didn't make fun. I was like, yeah, we want to go home. Like I don't want to stay here until 12 o'clock. We got home. A buddy of mine was playing in the finals, and it was 11:45, and they were still fucking playing.
It's like an all-night
It's
softball tournament.
crazy.
They told us the next event that the refs were breaking the field down at like 1:30 in the morning.
That's
I was
insane.
like, you got to be out of your fucking mind.
Yeah,
dude.
you literally drive home and go to work.
Yeah, we left at like 8. We had clamping at 8:30, and we got home at like 2:30 or 3. Probably a little later than that. About that time. You know, we stopped at 8 or whatever, and we got home. I literally slept for 2 hours, woke right back up, went straight back into work. We usually wake up at like 5 to go back into work. If not, usually there a little prior. And we literally got home, slept about 2 hours after putting yourself up and showering and stuff. 2 hours. All right, oh fuck, it's work time. Back to work. Fucking paintball.
Jamie
Terrible.
got home. He said he had 30 minutes before he needed to leave to work.
Yeah, because Jamie goes in and works like 3 to 3.
Yeah.
So he would get up like 3:30 or something like that. So.
And I was working from the house at the time, so it was, I mean, I went to bed and woke up at 7:55 and sat at my desk and played Warzone with Johnny.
Yeah, we were motion, I think.
Okay, so we didn't do these with you last time, Johnny.
Yep.
So we do our little 10 questions.
Sit down a little bit.
They're supposed to be rapid fire, but I don't think anybody's ever rapid fired these.
All right.
So I'll let Wes hit you with them first.
Okay.
Or the first question.
All right, ready?
Yep.
How big is your wiener?
6 inches.
All right, got it.
Okay.
Shootout.
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
Rapid fire.
It's like fucking, what is it, Family Feud?
Yeah.
Can
Um,
I phone a friend?
yeah.
Out of 100 people,
Who's your favorite player? Well, besides me, obviously, right?
Oliver Lang.
There you
Okay. Drums or flats?
Drums.
go. Goat. Big goat. Favorite team of all time?
Baltimore Ravens.
What's
No,
your most
no.
memorable event?
Oh, you talking about paintball?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Dynasty.
Okay. What's your most memorable paintball event?
My memorable paintball event, 2006 MAO D3 X Ball, first place.
Favorite superhero?
Venom.
Favorite gun of all time?
He's not a superhero. He's an anti-hero.
No, he's fine. I'll allow it. No, I like it because he's doing these fast. So,
I like Venom. I don't know what it is, but look at my background.
Yeah.
what's your favorite paintball gun?
Favorite paintball gun, DM4. Go.
Okay.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Hard or soft?
Soft.
Ooh. Who's the best player in the sport currently?
Currently, Dizon.
What's the first thing you notice about the opposite sex?
Tits.
Okay. Wow. Okay,
Those are
that
actually
was
rapid fire. Boom.
that's
Perfect.
that's the first time that's ever been done correctly.
Damn it.
Normally,
Can I take the last one back? Because I'm ass. I'm an ass guy.
can I take
really
the last
am.
one back?
But like my girlfriend's stacked with some tits, and it's like, man, I'm an ass guy, and I'm becoming a tits guy. But you know what? I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna stick with my
Okay.
answers. I like all my answers. They're all good.
I like all your
Hard or
answers
soft?
too.
What did that mean?
I
Dude,
don't know.
who
That's
knows,
normally
dude?
what people
Hard or
do.
soft? Soft. Fuck it. I mean, I was thinking tacos. You know.
There you go. I mean, it's however you want to answer it.
Yeah.
That's how people normally say. They all go, hard or soft what? they like that's the question we get asked back. We go, oh, we don't know.
Who knows?
Hey,
Tacos.
no one's completed that.
No, everyone's completes
everyone's
it, but they
completed.
usually like
Junk.
give the answer and then they
Elaborate.
respond to it. Yeah.
Yeah. They go, well, I like my steak cooked like this, and they'll go, because if you have it cooked this way, it's.
No, there's literally no other way to cook a steak. Medium. rare.
Medium.
That's it.
Medium is
I'm with Wes. Medium.
medium for sure.
Medium, really? No.
Yeah, pink
Yeah,
pink
medium.
throughout the whole steak is perfect. Pink throughout.
Medium
Front
rare.
to back.
Yeah.
Goat.
Well,
That was good.
yeah.
We went almost an hour, so that'll probably be a good one. Did you have anything, Johnny, you wanted to bring up, talk about?
No, I mean, I'm pretty good. I think we should do one after CPSL.
Okay, yeah.
Talk about how the event went. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
be here. I'll be here until Tuesday morning. So,
All
We'll
right,
have
yeah,
Chris
we can
here.
do one next week.
and Chris, well, Cox leaves Monday morning. He
I
leaves
mean,
early.
we maybe can do one Sunday night. I'm off Monday, so
It depends on how
We'll see
late.
what time we get
yeah,
back.
I
Yeah.
know. That'll be fucking miserable. That would be good because we could have Chris again too.
To be completely honest, we have a pretty fucking fat roster this game.
I mean this is our same roster be running at Cup too, right? I'm pretty sure.
Roster. Yep, it is.
So, and probably one of the better rosters we've had in a while, I would say.
Yeah.
But Wes, do you have anything else?
That's it, man.
All right, I'll take us out of here. As always, thanks for listening. I don't know why people buy the merch, but people, for some odd reason, buy merch. Check out the socials. I'm going to start doing the Instagram more. I'm actually going to try to talk about the Instagram, where all the kids go. I'm going to try to talk your wife into doing it for me. But, thanks for listening, and we will catch y'all on the next one.
Bye.
See ya.